Well, right now it's 22 passionate and hardworking people, really, working towards one common goal, which is to build the world's best proposal software in the web. And that's the simplicity, that's what it is. Probably 2007, 2008, can't remember the exact year, I was helping a friend at the time build a new agency, a web design agency, and I hired Kyle, junior designer, probably in his early 20s, and we just hit it off from day one.
Kevin's 20 years older than I am. We call ourselves the father and son team, which he doesn't like. But I was young, I was in my early 20s at the time. He was in his early 40s, and basically he had run businesses most of his career. He was giving me a lot of advice because I wanted to go out on my own and become a freelancer and run my own business for the first time, which was terrifying. And so we used to go down for coffees in the place that we worked at. There was a little cafe down in the basement. We would go down there, we would chat. He would give me a couple like sales tips and things like that. And then after about a year of working at this company, I left and went out on my own as a freelancer and did really well. And later on that year, Kevin was looking to finally go out on his own again. He couldn't, quite handle being an employee for too long. And so he was going to start his own business, a consultancy. I was already doing a web design development business, and so I just said, hey, why don't you come partner with me and we'll build it together.
And I can remember the day he mentioned it. We were walking maybe to lunch or something, and I was complaining about proposal writing because that was my role. He was a designer, my role was to write proposals at this agency and help build this business. And he goes, when I was at the agency prior, I had an idea because everybody was always complaining about proposals, and he said, there should be something on the web, something more web-based.
I was like, there should be a Basecamp style app for proposals. So I just wireframed it one night in my basement in 2006, 2007, sat on it for a long time, and it wasn't until years later when I was running my own business, my first business, Headspace, that we wanted to build a SaaS company and decided to kick around the old proposal app idea.
We slapped together a prototype in 2011, just as the idea came about. Kyle pitched it, and then at I think it was the first demo camp Dal had. And then with the response, we realized we had something, so the rest is kind of history from that point. That's kind of how the idea kind of developed. What benefited us the most, I'm sure you will agree to, was it was a pitch competition. That is really what changed our business, because our one real investor was in the audience at that day, and that was when it kind of started, where we got our seed capital, our seed funding. So that, to me, was the primary launching pad for what we did at the beginning, and it was because of Volta having that pitch competition. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that was massive. And then later on, when we were when we had some funding, just having a place that we could go to and start building a team.
Having been self-employed most of my career, I've built lots of teams over the years. My very first real business I started was in 1989. I opened a sports bar and music club. I was about 24 years old, very green, and I had quite a few employees. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but it was trial and error. And I've also been an athletic coach for 25 years, and this is the old cliche, there's no I in team. I know it's used a lot, but I think through that as well, I really learned a lot on how to develop teams, motivate people, and so yeah, that's and Kyle and I have the same approach, but we like people, we love people. We we want to create a very positive environment, and that's pretty much it. We want to be around like-minded people, I guess.
I think hiring people that you would have fun going out for beers with is important. Some people are very effective and very skilled, but their personalities suck and you just don't like being around them. And so I think you've really got to build a culture. You've got to build a team of people that you enjoy being around first and foremost, and then the work comes secondary.